In a fight, an epic fight between the Terminator and Robocop, I will say Robocop will win this one.
I'm going with Robocop on this one.
Hey man, why is this even a thing? Without a shadow of a doubt, the Terminator is about to serve that Robocop up, bruh. He's slow, he weak, he dumb, and he's frail and trash. Bro, that Terminator doesn't stop. It doesn't cave. It doesn't waver. It doesn't care about your family or your life. It'll just keep coming. Terminator for the win.
Terminator.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Juan from Tavares XP. So, Terminator versus Robocop. Terminator. His technology is from the future and he rides a fat boy. Terminator.
It's all about the Terminator, baby.
It has to be Terminator.
I'll be back.
Terminator.
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 The Terminator is out there.
Hasta la vista, Robocop.
Terminator.
Terminator wins.
Terminator.
What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. You click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try, recommend movies, music, and trailers for me to react to. Now, with that being said, we are here today with a new segment called the Terrordome, and it's time for you guys to enter it. I have my boy Del Boy from Movie Mash here. Go ahead and tell him your name, tell him your channel, plug your stuff, man.
Do it. This is Del Boy from Movie Mash. You should check out my channel. It's the best on YouTube. And today we're going to have a showdown kind of with Davey from the 80s. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. So just to give you guys a quick reminder, let me pull out my notes for what the topics that we're going to touch on before we get into this. But anyway, I'm going to give you guys a quick format. What we're going to do is we're both going to talk about the movies in general. Then we're going to talk about which movie is the best movie, followed by a series of questions beforehand. And then we are ending the end of the video with a hypothetical versus battle between Robocop and Terminator, because that's why you guys are here today.
What do you mean hypothetical? It's real.
I mean, it's a real battle, but it's a hypothetical discussion. The movie ain't happened yet, so it's not like we're getting it anytime soon. Even though these two properties belong to Orion and it could happen, or MGM.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, it could happen, but it's hypothetical because it's not in the realm of reality yet, outside of comic books and video games, right? So let's go ahead and start off with the easiest one that me and you are probably going to agree on is, let's just talk about the films first. So your initial thoughts. What are your initial thoughts of both? Let's both start with Terminator. What's your initial thought with Terminator?
Classic. I remember seeing this as a very young kid, probably younger than I should be in the 80s. I had bad parency, and I remember feeling like it was a bit of a horror film, to be honest. I don't know, even watching it the other night or last night, I feel like it's in the horror. It was quite scary when I was a kid,
Definitely.
He was kind of real cold and he never stopped, and as you know, the second and the third are a bit more tame, but yeah, it felt like it was a horror film.
Yeah.
Watching it last night, I just realized it's still so good. I mean, there's a couple of little bits, but you excuse that because it's the 80s and how much work they put in it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
But
you're talking
I
about
think
the practical effects in certain scenes?
yeah, but you
Yeah,
know
they look
what?
real bad. Yeah.
The effort though that went into it, and budget and James Cameron. I don't know if that's his first film, but I do know that Lance, I can never get his name, Lance Henkinson, Bishop from Aliens. He was originally to play Terminator, and Arnold was to play Kyle Reese. But
What?
Arnold, yeah,
That's weird.
Arnold kicked up and wanted to play Terminator, but he threw. I think Lance is one of the police officers. Isn't he?
I'm so glad that happened, bro. Arnold needs to be the Terminator. It's no,
We
this
knock him.
franchise would have never been the same if anybody else would have played Terminator. I'm sorry, we probably wouldn't even got a T2.
You know how we all knock him for his acting. I always find Arnold very charismatic, and I think that's what makes his films good. He's very charismatic, no matter what. But when it comes to acting, I think Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, he's really good on it, because despite anyone says, the cold look he gives, the way he acts, it's really good, and that's what makes it. Do you know what I mean?
Seems robotic. I mean, you don't have to be a great actor to be robotic, but
no, but he was stern, like he's just stern. There's no even his one-liners come out like he's cold. You know?
No, I don't look. Arnold has the menacing look down packed, like straight up, like especially in number one. Like I agree with you 1,000%. Number one feels like a horror movie. Like when you're watching it, straight up feels like a horror movie. I'm gonna be honest. I saw Terminator 2 a bunch of times in my lifetime, a lot. It used to come on TV a lot. T2 was like a staple. Like everybody's seen Terminator 2. Now, Terminator 1 was the one movie that I did not see a lot. And to be honest with you, I recently, like maybe like a year ago, I watched it, but then I was tired, so I fell asleep. And then I recently rewatched it like maybe 2 weeks ago. Dude, classic. And it's weird that this movie does not get talked about as much as T2. T1 is great, like really, really good. And
I think it's on par in a lot of ways. I know it's epic part 2, but part 1 feels like the twist in it. Like you think about it, there is a twist in a way.
Yeah,
where
him getting sent back and impregnating her.
Yeah, I like that. But as I say, like it is in some ways it is on par. It was just a bit ahead of its time. And Terminator 2, without 1, there'd be no 2 the way it was. And you had to have the first one good, and it was. And I actually love it. I love the music.
T2's more like an action movie. Like T2 is like full on straight up action.
Yeah.
T1 is like a thriller, kind of horror. Like the pacing was on point. It gets you kind of tense. It gets you kind of nervous, especially that freaking police scene when he pulls up to the police station. Man, and it's like Arnold goes through like 3 different phases in this movie. He comes in with a long kind of like ear length hair, then it gets burned, and he has like this buzz cut. Like, he goes through stages in this movie. It's kind of amazing to watch him kind of progress as his character.
But the music was good. I mean, it was very synthesizer and keyboards and all that around,
Oh, hell yeah.
It worked. It was really good through the whole thing.
That movie definitely has both of these movies have like great film scores, excellent. And we're gonna talk about that a little later. But yeah, Terminator 2, like that, the theme. I literally listened to the theme the other day, and like, man, I sat through the whole thing. I was just like, this is a work of art. This is great. Like, like the theme, like once it hits, it just gets you. The only knock I have for Terminator 1 is some of the practical effects used in the movie. The scenes where Arnold's like working on himself, it looks really, really bad. Like it looks like a dummy. It looks really
Let me tell you, when I seen that as a kid, because it looks so much like a dummy, it freaked me out more than anything else. Do you know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
I completely understand, because like when I was watching, I was like, oh, dude, that's such a bad dummy. And I remember we were having this conversation, and you're like, yeah, but it was the 80s. And I was like, don't give me that 80s thing. We had the thing, and we had all kinds of crazy stuff. Don't give me that, man. But no, I mean, overall, like I said, most of the other practical effects in the movie were spot on, A1. Everything was really, really good. Except for, like I said, some of the practical scenes. It was pretty like, eh. So T1, T2 is great, but how about T3? A lot of people don't really like T3. A lot of people don't talk about T3, but I just rewatched that yesterday. And T3, honestly, is not a bad freaking movie at all.
It had a lot to live up to. That's the problem. You
Oh
know,
yeah, of
that they have
course.
to live up to. And that's where everyone's, and it was a good 10, 11, 12 years later. And it just, I think it was one of the last films he'd done before he became governor.
Yeah, he
But
did.
as I say, there's some good scenes, and they tried. Do you know what I think? You remember the end scene to that film when all the nuclear weapons and rockets are going up in the end when they
Yeah.
were in the bunker? That was a good scene.
Oh, that was really
music,
good.
yeah, it was like, it's happening now, and you watch it all happening in the air, the score in the background. Yeah, that was really good. That stuck out. Also, the bit where he's hanging onto the truck and is smashing through all the was it the crane?
Yeah,
What
the
we call it?
crane. Yeah.
Yeah, smashing. The Terminatrix was. I suppose they have to go something different. They can't keep having what's his name, the T1000. They had to change it up. But personally, I think the T1000 could beat it because it still could be broken. He couldn't.
Yeah. Because it was
But,
just it just had the liquid metal on the outside, and then physically inside it was still robotic.
like also her tits get bigger when it suits her, like for males and all that.
She blew him up.
If I was her boyfriend, I'd say, look, keep that shit up all the time. But anyway,
But
yeah, it's good.
yeah. You know what? That you mentioned the nuclear scene in Terminator. I think it's part 2. Was it part 2 where
Sarah's
on the gate and she's looking, and then she's getting blown away by the nuclear blast and she's burning? Dude, that scene was crazy. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, dude. Like,
it's cold.
How do I not remember this? I was like, oh my God, dude, that scene was so good. Like, the practical effects that they used in that scene was freaking amazing. Now,
it was just a frightening scene as well. It's like, I think when I was a kid, it was the first time I ever realized what a nuclear bomb would be like. The flash of light, then all of a sudden the whole place, and you see the schoolyard or the school playground.
Yeah, and then people were dust. People were turning into dust like Pompeii, and then just get blown away.
Because I've seen loads of nuclear stuff since, and it definitely looks quite accurate to what I've seen. And that was my first introduction to nuclear weapons. And that was quite frightening. The most frightening.
Yeah, because her sitting on the gate screaming and she's like burning. Oh, dude, that shit.
But she's looking at herself, isn't she? She's dressed up as the old Sarah Connor, like
she's looking at herself like a kid or something, I think. And oh, dude, that scene stuck with me. That shit was crazy. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that shit was amazing. Like, it was really, really good. A lot of, like I said, practical stuff in this movie, man, is really good. Like the imagery in this movie alone is just dope.
Even the CGI for its day compared to some shit now you see today, it's just still.
We talking about T2, the liquid,
yeah. But also, I liked how the color of it, and the cinematography. It's perfect. It's just a perfect film. Everything.
Yeah, definitely.
There's not one boring moment.
I really enjoyed how the director got it right with how the T1000, how his arms and thing was formed, and then they would become solid. He got that right because my wife never seen Terminator, right? So when he so the scene where when he's on the phone with he's like, "What is the name of your dog?" Wolfie sounds distressed, and then like the guy's like, "Who's on the phone?" Like I was like, oh, she's never seen the T1000 and doesn't know that he can shapeshift his hand. So when it panned out and you saw that he had his hand through the husband, she was like, oh, he can do that? Like, that's crazy. She was like, really like, wow. Like she was really into it. She hates sci-fi movies, dude, like with a passion, but she was really enjoying Terminator.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of people have chosen Terminator over Robocop. Because everyone loves the second film, regardless of who can win in a fight. I think that's a lot of the reason why. I was going to say is, did you know that the T1000, what's his name, Patrick, whatever his name is, did you know he was going to be the bad guy?
Oh,
when you first saw it.
I did, but only because like I said, I've seen this movie a long time ago. So when I was a kid, I wasn't really I wasn't really familiar with Terminator, so I'm just like I said, every time I rewatch this movie, I just remember the liquid guy was bad. That's it. Like so when I watched Terminator the first one and Arnold pops up, I'm thinking he's a good guy. And this is Terminator 1. I'm thinking he's a good guy based because I remember T2 more than I remember T1. So when I'm watching it and I'm like, yo, he's trying to kill Sarah. Like, what's going on? Like, why is he doing this? I'm like, why is he doing this? And I'm like, oh, snap. So he was bad. Okay. So it made it a little bit better for me. Like, I don't remember if I had like a dilemma. I think if I would have watched T1 when I was a kid and then saw T2, I probably would have been like, whoa, they sent 2 Terminators back to get Sarah. Oh man, it's a wrap. It's done. Like these dudes are both going to kill her. So I thought I could understand where somebody would barely watching it would think that there's 2 Terminators being sent back to kill her. And they were probably like, yo, like, how are they going to win this? They got liquid guy and they got the metal guy. Like, how are they going to work this out? So,
well, I thought, I wasn't sure because if it's cleverly done, when the T-1000 comes back and the police officer comes to him, you see him do that. It looks like a punch, but actually it was that, but it doesn't show it until later on when they're both in the corridor of that mall or wherever it was. And that's when you find out. He goes, you see Terminator going like that. John Connor's, oh shit. Mate comes around the corner and he goes, Doc, get down. So that's get down, asshole. That's. I was just going to quickly say about Salvation. Not many people like it. I liked what they were trying. Genesis, stay away. I mean, I personally think it's terrible. Dark Fate is a bit better. I still didn't love it. I thought it was good, a good return in a sense, but I wasn't a big fan. But I personally think 3, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the trilogy is epic, but it's sad because the way that 3 ends, it sets you up for the rest of the Terminator films. So it's like, it's not like 3 could have ended and be like, yes, we got a good trilogy, boom, we're done. Now it ends and it opens up a book for the rest of the Terminator films. Because the only thing I remember about part 4 is that we had the 3D Arnold Schwarzenegger because he could not be in the movie because he was governor. So they had to do like a 3D imagery of him. And it was like a CGI. Very short. Yeah, it was like a CGI Terminator. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But it wasn't anything like that. It was like, whoa, like that was crazy. But
I was gonna say is with Dark Fate, T4, 5, 6, whatever it is, they ruined the first 2 by killing John Connor off and giving it wasn't John Connor all along, it's this young girl. I'm like, so
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I know that people butcher that movie.
Spoilers.
They say
killed
that
John
terrible.
Connor at the start. The CGI was good with John Connor because it made him look like about a year older than he was in the second one. I thought that was good, but they killed him off at the start, and then it turns out it's not him all along. It's going to be some other young girl, and who had nothing to do with anything. Yeah, and I thought, so what you're saying is 1, and all they went through is in part 1, 2, and 3 was for nothing.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what a lot of people's complaints were, that this movie erased the original 2.
About Robocop.
It made it pointless. But let's get into my side of the story. Robocop. Let's talk about a little bit about Robocop. Now, Robocop to me was I wasn't, like when Robocop came out, I wasn't born yet. So this was something that I was introduced to via video store. So Robocop to me is like that top tier video store, top shelf movie, right? It's that, to me, it was a go-to movie. I loved Robocop, loved everything about him. Like the movie was just tight to me, right? I remember my aunt bought me this big Robocop figure. It was huge, bro. And he had the little button that you push in the back of the head and the eyes lit up and he said
I bet you wish you had it still.
Hell yeah, I wish I had it, bro, because his hand came off and he had the little arm weaponry thing. And then I think I even had a car that went with it. I don't remember though, but yeah, bro, I had that Robocop. That Robocop was tight. And then he even had the leg part that opened up and you could take the gun out and put the gun in. That shit was tight. But anyway, I digress. Robocop to me was like a top tier video store staple rental. Like I had to rent that every time I went. And as many times as I rented, I swear it would have been like 50,000 Robocops. I remember watching the Robocop animated series when it came out. I was freaking Robocop fiend. Like I love that shit. And recently rewatching it, the one thing in the movie that I feel like it got better than Terminator is the use of practical effects. The use of practical effects in Robocop are a lot better than I would say Terminator. Now that stop motion in RoboCop was bad. That shit was really, really bad. Like the Ed, what's his number? Ed what?
Ed 209.
Ed 209. That shit was bad, bro. Like, I mean, I applaud it for its time period, and I understand that stop motion is a freaking art, but that was really, really. I mean, the one thing I will give it credit for is that at least the stop motion added up to the real character. So when Ed did something to RoboCop, it was like on point. Versus like it just seemed like a real glitchy, like a glitchy movement. The timing of everything was on point, so I appreciate that. But as far as the stop motion wasn't really like I would have said top tier, but everything outside of that, like the practical effects, like when the guy gets hit with the radioactive waste and he comes out the car and he's like,
Mate, when I saw that as a kid, oh my god, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
I thought that was the Toxic Avenger. When I first saw it, I was like, that's how the fucking Toxic Avenger was born. But yeah, it was,
and when the car hit him, he was like exploded like a bucket of water thrown over the car.
I said the same thing. I was like, why did this guy turn into a big ass pile of mush? Like he just hit him and just like he turned into water. I thought that was weird too. I was like, my dog's looking at me.
Do you
like,
know what Ed 209's biggest weakness is?
Stairs. That was so stupid.
That up.
Dude, RoboCop was like, oh no, I'm gonna die. And he was like,
I know.
And he was touching the step like he was trying to get his footing, and he just rolled down the stairs.
So how are they going to get it out of the building in the first place?
Exactly. They're like, oh, we brought this into the building. How did they get him into the building?
I probably built in there.
Probably, yeah, right.
But what I was going to say is, say if he's on the street and criminals just go, all right, let's run down this stairs. What the hell?
Dude, I will say this. Ed 209's his design is better than that Kane RoboCop 2 design in the second part. That Kane RoboCop 2 was trash. That shit was whack, bro. That whole chest plate that opened up and it was like his face like that shit was garbage. That was bad, bro. That design of that, they could have went to the drawing board with it. They could have did something much better with that. That shit was
and his CGI or whatever it was face.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. That design was bad. And even when they were giving the trial runs of RoboCops, and they're like, and they couldn't hold it. So like the RoboCop took his head off, and it was a skull, and the skin started melting. That shit looked tight. Don't get me wrong, like the skin melting, and it's a little bit better stop motion, but overall,
I will say is that was 1990. It should have been a bit better at that point.
Oh hell yeah, it definitely could have been better. I wonder. Let me see something.
RoboCop is 1987, so it's about 3 or 4 years newer than Terminator, first Terminator.
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna see if RoboCop 2 got it. I'm gonna look at. Hold up, just give me a second. I'm gonna look at these budgets real quick. Hold on, give me a second. Come on, bro. But yeah, because I want to know if RoboCop 2 had a bigger budget. If RoboCop 2 had a bigger budget, there is no freaking reason.
It should do.
It should be, right? Because it's a sequel. So the budget for RoboCop 1 was 13.7 million. And then the budget for RoboCop 2 was 25 to 30 million. Fuck. And it got worse? Yeah. That I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like they took a step down. And then even the budget for RoboCop 3 was higher than RoboCop 1. Golly.
Joking.
No, yeah, it was. RoboCop 3, the budget was 22 million. So RoboCop 1 did a lot with less. That's crazy.
It had lots of character in it.
What happened?
It had lots of character in the first
two.
Yeah.
I think the first
Peter
two
Weller was brilliant.
The first two are enjoyable. Like they honestly like decline in the order that they were made. So
but
1, 2, 3.
The second is still good. I mean, it still feels like it's in the same universe where it's all crazy, wild, but it was violent as hell. You know, Peter Weller, he's got a great voice for RoboCop. Do you know? I mean, Arnold did too, but he had a great voice. Do you know? I thought that worked. the guy who played him in part 3 wasn't terrible. But do you know what I noticed? Did you know Robocop 3? And I was timing it. Do you know where he didn't turn up? The first time you see him is 20 minutes into the film.
Yeah, it felt like that.
No, I timed it. It was just over 20 minutes.
I was thinking about that. I was like, fuck. I was like, it's taking a while for him to get here. Like, this is a lot of like world building. Like, I was kind of watching it.
I didn't care about it either. It's just like, ugh. Like, this should have showed in like the first one, someone robbing something and he turns up and then get to it.
Yeah.
But I didn't care about these people, these rebels. I didn't even know where they were getting on that bus. I don't know where they're going. Yeah, the generic bad guy, and obviously he had a British accent. And I was like, and this little girl, oh, she's a computer whiz. I'm like, oh, I've seen that before.
Oh yeah. When she hacked Ed 209.
Yeah.
But I think another thing too that they messed up on is that they built up Ed 209 to be this vicious character and this vicious like rival for RoboCop. And then just to be in the next movie to just shit on him. Ed 209s are malfunctioning everywhere, and they show him on the highway just like glitching and falling over and kicking. And I'm like, what was the point? I mean, I get why they were doing it because they wanted to initiate the new RoboCop 2 program, but it's just whack that they gave it up. And even if another thing, if Ed 209 was such a bullshit design, why is he still around in RoboCop 3?
Mate, he was quite freaky in the first one though.
Yeah,
when
they ruined him. They ruined him like completely. Like you honestly, what they should have did was in RoboCop 2, Kane should have been like put inside of Ed 209 somehow. Like maybe like an updated 209.
An upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah,
one can go downstairs.
Yeah, exactly, right? Something. Cause like I was watching it and I'm like, dude, this design for Kane's RoboCop 2 is garbage. Like it's bad. He had like little ass legs and big ass arms. And I mean, his arsenal and the weapons that he had was cool. But outside of that, like it was pretty bad, bro. It was really shitty.
And it's always a corporation that's a bad guy. You know, it's always, I mean, that's all right, I suppose. I'm making a big deal out of it. Kane and what was it? Nuke.
Yeah, Nuke.
Also,
that little kid, bro.
But it felt quite sudden, the ending. I don't know why. It felt like it was all very sudden, the ending. It just kind of kicked off real quick. Yeah, and then it ended, do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why it felt that.
It did feel like a little rushed at the end. Like that movie did feel rushed. Did you care for the kid character? He annoyed the shit out of me. I didn't like the fact that
really.
I get why they added in kids. I thought that was a creative touch to it, but the kids were annoying because they were like, "Oh, you can't shoot me because I'm a kid." And he shot RoboCop. He's like, "Pussy." He shot him, and I was just like, "Okay, that's pretty clever." But at the same time, to have like this kid being like a mob boss, mafioso type thing,
I know. Like
that was annoying, bro. It was annoying.
Yeah.
I was like, "This looks like the kid from Blank Check." It was really annoying. I was like,
there was something I was going to say though. Do you remember there was a shop being robbed, like it was like an electrical store or something like that, and there was loads of kids wearing baseball hats and all that.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah, the baseball team.
Right. Did you see what they were stealing? Personal Walkman stereos and like VCRs and like big like personal cameras. I was like, you're supposed to be 2028. Like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing using VCRs and Walkman still? Do you know? So I thought you dropped the ball on that, But yeah, I mean,
I never even thought about that. I just thought the scene was stupid to begin with. You have a baseball team with a baseball captain robbing it. Oh, come on, bro. Fuck out of here.
But it kind of feels like it's in that world though, because that world is crazy.
Detroit in that world is like turned upside down.
It's a bit like Judge Dredd in a sense, But it's just all up the place.
That's another good one. We could have one day we got to have a freaking the Battle of the Cops or something. We'll figure something out. But
what about the TV series? Quickly, did you ever see any of that?
The animated one or the live action one that they briefly?
The live action, yeah.
I never saw it. I wanted to, but I didn't get a chance to watch
one
it.
or two. Oh my god,
bad.
It's like, oh god, it's bad. Oh, before I forget, did you see the samurai kung fu guy?
Oh yeah, that was whack. That was whack.
Yeah,
my man was because I was like watching it and he was meditating and I'm like, how did you get a robot to meditate? But okay. Oh, you got robot meditating, and then RoboCop was fighting. RoboCop got his ass saved at the end by that kid. Didn't the kid like hack into the robots and then they fought each other or something?
I just
The kid, I think in the end of RoboCop 3, he hacked into the robots and then they both start fighting each other and then they cut each other's heads off or something. It was so bad. That ending was fucking terrible. That was a bad.
They had to give him someone to fight, though. You know.
Yeah, but he didn't even fight him because the kid hacked into it. I mean, at least he single-handedly took down Kane, which was pretty cool for me. But you know, before we move on, I gotta say in RoboCop 1, the dad from That 70s Show, he's a fucking dope ass villain. I love him as a villain.
There's not much of him. There's nothing to him. He's not massive like Arnold. He's just an average looking guy, but he's a piece of shit.
He's an asshole, and he plays it perfectly.
There's this other film I was watching not too long ago called Fortress with Christopher Lambert. It was early 90s kind of sci-fi B-ish movie, and he played the bad guy on that again, and he was an evil bastard again. Like, he was a bit different. He played a robot, funny thing. He played some kind of cyborg, but yeah, he was an evil piece of shit. So he was evil. He was horrible.
Also, the RoboCop, the Officer Murphy death scene, that shit was top tier, bro. Him getting his leg shot, give him a hand. That shit was tight, bro.
Actually, that was cold. That was cold.
That black guy, dude, that black guy's laugh was annoying the shit out of me. But he was like a black Joker, funny as shit. But yeah, that scene, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's tight, but when you look at it again, you're like, fuck, how are you still alive? He's like, oh, he's getting shot up, and you're just like, you should be dead already, sir. And he's just taking it. And then he was still alive, like towards the end when they took him to the hospital and trying to keep him alive. And I'm like,
because they shot him in the head as well.
I'm like, you're dead. Oh yeah, and he got shot in the head. Like, how are you even using this brain? You have a bullet in it. That's crazy. But
it was a cut, and they saved his arm, but they said, "No, chop it off. That's it."
Yeah. He was like, oh, he was like, what are you doing? We can save the arm. Nah, cut it off. You just see them with the bone saw.
He was just putting a face to a robot, really, so the public would relate to it a little bit more than a normal robot. I think they put that on the remake as well.
Is that why in the remake he kept his hand?
Did he?
I think in the remake he had one hand.
Oh, I don't remember. I can't remember that.
I think in the remake he had a hand. I think. I
don't know. They made a deal out of him having a face to be relatable to the public, you know. But
yeah, that was a bad remake. I didn't like that remake. I didn't like that remake. I remember when I watched it, I didn't like it, but I might rewatch it just to be like, okay, yeah.
It's not as bad as people are brutal to it, but it's because everyone loves the first one, you know. But
yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't like being that person that doesn't like something strictly because it's a remake. You know, I have certain things in my heart where I'm like, oh, you know, that shit holds dear to me. But at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna give it a fair shot. But I just remember not liking it, and it had nothing to do with his design. It had nothing to do with the RoboCop. Oh, you ruined it. You should just stop remaking old movies. It had nothing to do with that. I remember just authentically not liking it. But it's something I might have to revisit and be like, you know what, and see if it's really as bad as I say it is. So, let's go ahead and move on to some questions that I have. Who do you think has the better design, RoboCop or Terminator?
Terminator. I'm not just saying that because I'm backing him, but I do. Yeah. Why? Well, he looks slender, slim, sort of thing. He looks menacing, and you know, I'm taking away. Forget the skin, like, you know. I'm talking about, like, he looks. Robocop looks too bulky as he is, and he looks hard to maneuver. He's not got any agility or anything like that. Where Terminator, apart from that, he looks menacing. He's got red eyes. He just looks for a bit. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. I like the color. I like the teeth because they look kind of human. So they're all. I think they are human, but they look kind of menacing as well. So. That's pretty much why. Even though I do like RoboCop's armor, but Kevlar armor, I Terminator. What about you?
Okay, so me personally, I think that RoboCop has the better design, and that's obvious. That's not because I picked RoboCop. I think it's strictly because there's not much to Terminator's design other than it looks okay. With Terminator with the skin, it's literally just a person. Nothing clever about it. Now, I really like the whole like when he gets half of his face ruined and you can see the exoskeleton underneath the skin. I think that's really cool. But at the same time, even when you dive out of it and you look at the exoskeleton, it's not much that's unique about it. It's really just a chromed out skeleton that has mobile abilities. It's not, to me, it's not that unique. RoboCop, on the other hand, as childish as his imagery looks, to me, I love that blue. That blue, the way
It was bluer on the second one. Did you notice that?
Like, you mean darker or lighter?
I don't know. It just looked like it was a lot more blue in the second.
Probably.
You know.
But I enjoy. I like that blue. That blue always was eye catching to me. I also liked how he had the gun that popped out from his hip. Like that was really cool. Like it wasn't just like a holster on the side. It popped out like. Then he had the freaking data spike, and then his helmet. His helmet just looks really cool to me, and I like the little red. It's just something about RoboCop's design where I've always thought it was really cool. And even
I thought he looked a bit too
bulky,
plasticky.
Oh, I can see that. I can definitely see that, but I just think that the design itself is just a little bit more unique than Terminator's design. And then honestly, especially when he takes the helmet off and he has that little cancer head looking stuff, and he really looks like when I was watching it, I was like, it really looks like they fucking stapled a face to that metal frame. It looked legit like they stapled it to the frame. And I was just baffled by it. I'm watching, I'm like, how the hell did they do? Like, it looked real to me. It looked real. Like, even now watching it, I'm like, damn, that's good. That's some freaking good, like, makeup or whatever they did to it, because it looks really good. So like I said, I just think that although his design might look a little bit plasticky and things like that, I just think that it looks a lot cooler than Terminator's designs. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's nothing really unique to the exoskeleton. It's nothing really unique to his humanoid form. But I am a fan of the humanoid form with the exoskeleton reveal. I always thought that was really cool. But I still think RoboCop's design is a little bit more unique, and that's why I like it. Especially that blue. That blue is really like, it pops for me. Which movie do you feel like has the better score?
Terminator 1.
Fog.
2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's not because I'm backing him. I just love that kind of, especially in the second one, where it had that kind of emotional feel to it as well, a bit slowed down sort of thing, a bit more epic. But the first one, all that. I do like Robocop.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't, like, I don't remember it after a few listens. I have to. Terminator, I always remember. It's not as memorable, I find. So
they even use it's funny because they even use the Terminator theme for the RoboCop trailer. So that's funny. Yeah. So but all right, so this is what I think. I think Terminator's overall score is better because Terminator has way more music in it than just the main theme. It's just filled with different kind of sounds and scores and music and such. So overall, I think that Terminator has a better score. Now, if we're just talking specifically in the realm of main themes, I don't know, bro. I might have to say it's a stalemate because main themes, I enjoy both of them equally. Like, I was listening and I sat down and I listened to both the main themes because I really just associated RoboCops with a no 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 no. I just associated with that, but then to find out that there's more to it,
because it goes on a bit differently in between that, doesn't it? But that seems to be the most. Yeah,
that's the most memorable thing. Once you hear it, and then it does.
They should have used that a little bit more as well. They didn't.
Yeah,
I found they should have. Yeah, but
I think, like, as in regards to main themes, I'm gonna have to say they equal each other out. I think both are equally really good. What do you think?
I don't know. There's nothing like that first one.
Trying your best beatbox. Nah, but yeah. No, but like I said, bro, like I enjoyed both of them. And then it has the Terminator one has that 80s synth. Oh, I love it. I love it. It has an 80s synth in one part, and I'm just like, because I was messing around with my MIDI controller the other day, and one of the notes that I hit sounded like the Terminator synth, and I was like, oh snap! Like that reminded me of Terminator. But I don't know, man. It's hard for me, but I think that both scores are equally they're equally as good. The main themes in regards. So subscribers, fans, whoever's in here watching this video, let me know in the chat. If you're at this point right now, tell me which one do you feel like has the better score, main score, that is Terminator or Robocop. It's funny because I feel like a lot of more people would know the main score from Terminator. Like I said, Terminator gets a lot more love than Robocop. Like I said, Robocop's like a freaking video store like classic, and I mean Terminator. There's been more recent movies made than Robocop, you know. So a lot of people are more familiar with that than that.
I think they tried to kick off with the new one, but it was such a failure. That was the end of it, you know.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
All right.
And they didn't use the theme on that either. It was a different one, but anyway.
On the newer ones, they didn't use any of the old themes.
No, score, no.
Something like that. It does that. Something. I love that theme. I'm about to listen to that shit after this video, bro. You got me hyped.
I put it. It's on the.
Yeah, it's in the video. That's why it's fresh in my head. Like I love it. Who do you feel like has the best like origin story? Like, you know how RoboCop is a cop that got, you know, murdered, and you know he's trying to figure out who he is, and he's fighting with the whole cybernetic thing. Or do we think that Terminator, being a robot from the future, that's you can either use the one that's sent to destroy Sarah Connor, or you can use the one that's reprogrammed. Either or at your discretion. But who do you think has a better origin story? Like, who has more depth?
Well, the fact that when that I found it was quite impactful on RoboCop when he was shot to hell like that. You know, I feel like there's more of a backstory with Terminator, because you don't have much. He was just a good cop, and then he's rushed into hospital. It's quite like dramatic compared to seeing anything with Terminator. All you see is him going into machine, and he's from the future. He comes back. You know, I think there's more story there, a little bit more. Like I found out that did you know the Terminators had humans as slaves?
I mean, no, but I can see that happening.
But it can go right back in. But what we know of,
oh yeah, because they said that they had humans and they were like they revolted or something.
No, they would use the slaves to build all the machines, the factories and all that to make the Terminators until they kicked off. But that's like nobody knows about that. But as I said, the impactful one for me, I'm going to stick up for RoboCop here. That scene, that's the one thing that everyone remembers, if you ask me, is when his hand is blown, his leg is blown. It's like it's really, really bloody, gory.
RoboCop is bloody, bro. That movie itself is just bloody.
The bit where, you know, he's rushed in and you can see his face and he looks dead and he's got the hole in his head. And yeah, even though it's a good cop, but I remember that quite a lot, you know, so I'll go with RoboCop on that one.
I think that RoboCop definitely takes the edge. And if we're comparing it to origin stories from Terminator 1 and then Terminator 3. I think Terminator 2 is where it gets complicated, because even though the origin of the Terminator to me is like whatever, I think that in Terminator 2, the character development of the T-800 is a lot better than the character development of RoboCop, because he becomes like a father figure to John, and he's learning all of these little things in order to seem more human, and he's learning from John. And then at the end, for him to be like, you know what, I understand why you cry. I can't cry, which means that if he could cry, he would be crying right now. So I feel like that him basically trying to understand humanity and understand the way that they were, the way that they were. I felt like that was really great character development wise. And although it's not an origin, I feel like the character development of the T-800 in Terminator 2 was much better than any of the RoboCop movies altogether.
In Dark Fate, he had learned so much. He had his own job, and he was in a relationship with a child.
Wait, what a child?
He had a child.
How did he have a kid? Did they
It wasn't
adopt?
his. It was his wife, girlfriend's wife. He had been with her since she was pregnant. He's raised this boy. He has a job.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Terminator over there.
Yeah, he's got a nice little cottage. He's got a job. He's some kind of interior designer because he learns,
Yeah.
and
That's
he's
crazy.
quite sympathetic to
I
Sarah
have
Connor.
artificial semen.
Do you know what I mean? But you know, like he feels so bad for what happened to John Connor that he's trying to help Sarah Connor throughout the years. She doesn't know somebody's helping her, but he's like, he keeps texting her, where's the next robot? And he keeps saying for John. And when she finally, like, and I'm like, that's part of part two, really. He keeps learning, and he lives for 120 years. So I suppose I can't cry, but I'm like, his missus must love him in the bedroom.
Right.
But, all right.
Dude, so they can't even get physical. How's that working out? So did this girl know that she does?
Yeah, no, they can. All the parts are working apparently in part 4. It's just he can't cry. I don't know. He's just a bit more. I wouldn't say emotional, but he's a bit more sympathetic. He understands humans a lot more.
So he can have sex.
It seems like it on part 4. I need to rewatch it, but something like that. And as I say, he's not crying, but he's more sympathetic to people. So he understands emotions a lot more. And because of what happened to John Connor, some kind of guilt on him as well. He understands humans a bit more and why. Remember, he said, "I don't know why you cry. I know, I understand why you cry. I can't do that." He didn't cry, but it just felt like he was about to.
He wanted to. He was just saying, like, if I had the ability to cry, I would be bawling my eyes out right now. That's what he's basically saying. Like,
but he was handing him beer on Dark Fate, and he was chopping up a lemon to put it in, like, to pass it to them. Like, it's like, you know,
buddy. But oh my god, dude! So these movies are so great. Which movie do you feel like is more influential? Now I have to really sit down with this idea, and there's a reason why I asked this question. Which movie do you feel like is more influential?
You mean series?
Either or series. Which one do you think?
Again, Terminator, because the story arc is from bad to good, what it's like to be human, what it isn't, saving the world, getting to know each other. He's Sarah Connor being from good to strong still. John learning his mum was good. Terminator learning what it's like to be human in the sense, you know, and saving the world. It was all about saving the world. Robocop, he's just a robot, so he just.
I mean, but like, do you think that? Okay, so this is where I'm going with it, and I think you could piggyback off of it, because I want to make it a little bit more clear. So when I think of influential, I think that the Terminator franchise is one that is loved by millions, and I'm pretty sure that the character itself has influenced maybe some storytelling or some movies in out there. But personally, I can't think of one off the top of my head that is like a straight up ripoff. But like, I think that straight up though, like, as far as like people strive to make movies as great as Terminator, like overall, that's what I think. Like that's like the epitome. Like people are like, if I make a sci-fi movie, I want it to be Terminator. Like that's top tier stuff.
I've seen a few.
Yeah, but I think that people need to. I feel like RoboCop needs to get a little bit of respect because it spawned a bunch of like rip-off RoboCop movies, like The Vindicator, Demolitionist, Android Cop, Lady Battle Cop, Cyborg Cop, Robo Chick. Like there's so many like fucking Z, B, and all of the above movies that ripped off the idea of RoboCops, especially The Demolitionist. The Demolitionist is a straight up rip off of RoboCop, but with a female instead of a male. That's exactly what it is. And it's from the 90s, so don't give me that, oh, it's the SJW, before somebody in the comment section be like, oh, they done SJW RoboCop. Nah, bro, this is in the 90s. They weren't even thinking about that shit. They just made a rip-off RoboCop movie. And I mean, I like her design. Her guns are badass, and it's funny as hell when she shoots people and they just missed. Like they have blood mist, bro. So like when he shoots, like pop, 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 you just see like mist squirting out of their body instead of actual blood
I
squirt.
just stayed away from stuff like that.
Bro,
But you know what? It'd
you
probably
have
be
to
worth
watch it.
watching. Fun.
You have to watch it just so we can talk about it. Like just even if we chat about it, like it's fun to watch garbage movies sometimes, and that's a straight up.
No, it is. It is. There's this film called The Eliminators. Nobody knows of it. It's a rip-off of Terminator. When as a kid, I loved it. Have you heard of it?
No, it sounds the title sounds familiar.
It's actually got a great score. I think it was accidentally good.
I think you sent. You know what? I think you sent me it. Does it have synth in it? Like some synthiness?
Yeah. It was accidentally good.
You sent it to me.
It's good. It's got Terminators. You know, like in the 80s, there was this surge of ninja movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they threw the ninja movies in with the Terminator movie and like a pirate type wise guy in it. And they had to throw in a girl and the cute little robot that was just like Orko from He-Man and stuff. You know, they always had this little robot. They threw all that in. I thought it was good. I watched it there a couple of years ago. Maybe it's just me and nostalgic, but I loved it. And the bad guy is just too bad. He's just horrible. Do you know what I mean? Over the top. But yeah, as I say, rip off again. There's loads of them. It's a lot of fun to watch. So, like you're saying about your Robocop rip-offs, they would be a lot of fun to watch, just to laugh at and go, "Oh my god!" Do you know? Yeah. So yeah, I might give it a shot. If you give me a list, I'll give them.
Well, I don't know about the rest of them, but I know that I just want you to watch Demolitionists because I feel like that movie, even though it's a straight up RoboCop ripoff, I think if done right, it could be a pretty fun popcorn movie. Like maybe if they tweak it just a little bit so it doesn't seem like a straight up ripoff of RoboCop. It has a well-known actor in it who's the villain. And he plays a really good fucking villain, by the way. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, it doesn't really have much going for it. But I love the design. I love her guns. Her guns are fucking tight, bro. She has like these twin handheld guns that are like, you know, like RoboCop type shit, like let off multiple rounds at once. But it's really, really cool. But now the moment everybody has been waiting for, the entering the Terrordome. We are going to discuss and give our ideas and thoughts about who is going to win this battle. In a hypothetical battle between these two, since they have not really fought in real life, we are going to duke it out right now on their behalf. So I got RoboCop. Del Boy over here got Terminator. Let's get it going and let's see who is the victor. Obviously, we're not going to agree on it. So you guys will be the deciding factor. Since you're a guest on my channel, I'll let you have opening arguments. Go for it.
Don't choose Terminator for the love of it. Yeah. Just choose who you think after the stats, because you have too many people who love Terminator going to say Terminator anyway, and hopefully you do, so I can win. But to be fair, if you feel like he's giving you more of an insight, please choose RoboCop.
Yeah, go based off of the evidence that we're presenting, not based off of like fanboy.
It's I got to give you a chance, even though.
I enjoy your disclaimer, sir. But let's stick to the facts here, bro. So go ahead. So hit it. What do you think? Why do you think Terminator is going to win this battle?
Because he's better, right? So we got RoboCop is made out of a Kevlar armor. Okay. So also after watching the films, it's quite hollow after it. It's hollow in between. Yeah. So it's not solid. If you get, it's solid at the outside. So it's now. If you watch the first one, which you have, there's a scene where he comes out of the elevator and there's a load of cops outside or down the car park, and he starts shooting at him just with normal handguns, some shotguns. He took some serious damage. He fell. He was crawling. There were holes everywhere. He pulled down. He fell down. Do you remember? He fell down into the next
and then that's when
floor.
I forgot her name.
Came and picked him up. She picked him up. Yeah. And put him in the car. I'm like, huh? Now he weighs 300 pounds. And he's slow. Terminator weighs 500 pounds and he's fast. That says a lot. I'm just saying, then in the third one, on part 3, he came out of that church type thing. If you remember, he came out of the church.
Got shot. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll start shooting at him again, like the first one. and everything seemed fine. He had a lot of damage and all that. Everything seemed fine. It's down to the bad writing, but I'm going to use it. Do you remember he ended up going back with the rebels, whoever they were, and he was walking in the tunnel and he just fell over?
Yeah.
Just random.
Yeah.
He was, just random. Oh shit, he's dying. We've got to give him a heart and a brain. Like his brain. I'm like, hold on. Normal shooting at him, and then next minute he dies literally out of random. He was walking fine and bang. I'm like,
that was just, I think that's bad writing.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm using it, and that's the way it is. In the second, do you remember in the second one where he was the little boy hit him in the head with a hammer and broke his visor? I was like, that was a bit easy from a young kid. And then do you remember when they programmed him to be Mr. Nice Guy, and then he grabbed that electrical transformer thing to change it?
Yeah.
His partner came along with a plank of wood and hit him, and he flew off and he hit the ground. I'm like, hold on.
Because supposedly it exploded or something. I don't know, because it grounded.
But you know, when you're holding onto electric, you hold even tighter than normal. And he weighs 300 pounds, but she was able to hit him with a plank of wood. She's not as strong as like he would be.
Didn't it explode or something and he flew off? Or she really just hit him off?
Because obviously you need because I was rewatching this because I was going to use this. So he was holding on to it. She had to get him off because it was going to kill him. So she got a plank of wood, like something off we call a pallet here. You know, you put stuff on. Forklift. But she got like this part of a pallet which you can break. And she hit him and flew off. Also, Robocop's got a brain. Too much impact to that brain will, rattle it around. Eventually, it's like you putting a helmet on. Bang, bang, bang. Eventually, it will screw you. So Robocop physically is stronger than him as far as I'm concerned, looking at the stats. What I was going to say is he's very slow, Robocop. Even taking his gun out. I mean, I forget the twirling. By the way, he can twirl a gun, but Robocop can twirl a rifle. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Terminator could twirl a rifle.
Yeah, he can do it with both hands. By the way, and as I say, the gun takes ages. Also, he's targeting like Terminator just goes boom. He's got instant.
The only time his targeting was off was that he took forever to target. For me, was when he took damage and he said his targeting system was off. I remember
girl getting raped.
Yeah, but
what about the girl?
No, that's because he was assessing the situation in order not to like do.
Yeah, but no, he was.
Yeah, because he was trying to find a way to shoot this person without.
I'm just saying, it's like the Terminator. He thinks faster. He can think with the speed of light.
If that's the case, we would have saw the same thing. See, now that you're taking out of context. When he was in Terminator 1, Robocop 1, when he was fighting the people in the warehouse, what was he doing? Just shooting them. Even when he went inside of that one warehouse in the first one, when he captured the guy, the one that killed him, he went in there and was smoking people. The only reason he took forever to target was because he was trying to find out a way to hit the dude and not kill the woman.
Oh no,
it's the same thing that happened in part.
No.
The same thing happened in part 2 when he did the ricochet thing to shoot the guy.
I'm not saying he can't shoot though. I'm just saying that.
Oh, you're saying it takes him forever to aim. He doesn't take forever to aim. In that situation, he was trying not to hurt her.
The first few times I found that he did. And later on, when the shit hit the fan, he was a lot quicker. But I know that Terminator's his brain works as it's the speed of light. And he also, I was going to say, there is something I want to say. Do you remember part 2, Robocop part 2? Do you remember there was a guy, he had a kid or a girl, and he was like, I'm going to kill her if you don't back off.
That's the one that he ricocheted the bullet to hit the guy.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
He ricocheted a bullet into what they looked like a freezer.
Yeah.
And it went off. So what you're saying is his bullets can't go through a freezer door, a fridge door?
Nah, that's bullshit.
that's just what he went like that.
That's
bang,
just
bang.
that.
So,
look, some of the stuff you gotta associate with bad writing. All right. Because like that was just honestly
bang.
Hey, but you know what though? Look, I don't know. This isn't mentioned in the film, but in the lore of Robocop, supposedly he has different types of rounds that he can swap out. I don't know how.
Done by the films.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. But like the thing is, supposedly he has rounds that he could swap out. How true that has that been displayed in the movies, I don't really know. But that's just throwing it out there.
In Robocop 1, the villain, again, I can't remember his name.
The dude from that 70s show, I know what you're talking about.
He ran a spear through Robocop.
Well, it got stuck. It didn't go all the way through, but it got stuck. I know what you're talking about.
Well, he pulled it. He had to pull it out, but it went through his armor. Yeah. So that was like a bit soft there. You have to remember these films are inconsistent with the way it's written.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But we have to go with what we know. And I'm just saying is also he was chopped in half or in pieces with a chainsaw. Which
that was a jackhammer, and then they did have the joints.
I just see the so I think it was.
I thought it was a jack because the little kid was like, "Hey, get him at the joint."
No, we call it a jigsaw type thing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are sharp, but I know that he's got Kevlar armor, but it's not around certain points of his body like his joints. A little inconsistency. I'm not going to use this I don't know why I did this. Is so bad. But in Robocop 3, do you remember they were giving him a new heart or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was lying there. His stomach was going up and down like he was breathing. Like, I mean, like, why did you show that? Like, it's like they didn't realize he was breathing, And I see his, the black part of him. Like, I suppose it's metal or iron. I don't know what it is. But it was all moving like plastic, like flapping. I was like, oh, you fucked up. I'm not going to use it. I'm just saying I know it's not supposed to be. But
But this is the thing is, like, I mean, look, I get exactly what you're saying. But a lot of the stuff that you're equating to it is just based off of bad writing. You get what I'm saying? So, like, because, like, it's inconsistent.
I'm not going to include that.
Oh, no, I know that. I'm just saying, like, in general. So, like, the thing with the spear. Yeah, bro, it doesn't make any sense because this man just took heavy shots from the Ed 209.
I'm going to give you this though. In part 2, Terminator 2, he had a spear put through him into the ground. You remember?
Oh yeah.
But it was the T-1000 who did that, and on Robocop 1, it was a man.
Yeah, I can see that. But if Robocop was to drive a spear through Terminator, it would go through because Robocop's a lot stronger than
I know, but I'm just saying is that a man could do it to Robocop.
I mean, a man stabbed a man stabbed Terminator in the bar, and it went through. So I mean, it's the same. Like
that went through his skin. Forget his skin.
Yeah,
this went through his armor.
Did it bend the knife? No, the knife came right back out.
Yeah, but it went through his skin, and you know how big he is. He's all loads of muscle, so it went through his muscle.
Look,
no.
If it didn't bend the knife,
it went through his armor.
If it didn't bend the knife, it don't count.
Remind me, what bit was it? At the start of the bar.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the bar scene when he was taking people's clothing. He got stabbed and it went through, and then he just took it out and threw it on the floor. Now, if it
what I'm saying is that that's his skin. And you just pretend you don't even have.
So you're telling me a knife that's this big is only going to puncture his skin?
It can't have been that big. It's probably this big.
It wasn't a shank. Get out of here. It was not a shank. They showed it was
You're exaggerating about size. Yeah.
Look, man, it was not this big. It was not that big. Even if it was that big, that's puncturing. That's not just puncturing.
It was this big. And I'm gonna if you took his skin away, it would no good. But Kevlar armor. Also saying he's being shot by bullets in Terminator 2 when he was walking out of that building. Where the facility where all the stuff was going, where he had the minigun. He started walking out, and all the police and special aid. What were they? I don't know. There were special forces. They were shooting at him. They were shooting him with rocket launchers, and they were throwing grenades. And he just kept walking towards them. Yeah, he was taking hits, but it was only damaging his skin. So he was going bang, bang, bang. All right, in the feet. But he walked out. They were shooting him with everything.
You're talking. You said Terminator 2, the one where he's in the window. The part where he's in the window and he's shooting down.
After that, he came down into the corridor.
They were shooting tear gas at him. They didn't shoot grenades.
They were shooting. No, he was. I was watching it last night. They were shooting at him, and all his face was getting damaged and stuff.
Oh, you're talking about the bullets? Yeah, they shot him with bullets. They didn't shoot him with no grenades.
He was taking his skin, but they were shooting launch grenades at him. He hit him. He missed him. What I was saying is, in fairness, they didn't hit that, but they were throwing obviously tear gas, which don't affect him anyway.
This is what I'm gonna say, bro.
He was walking towards him, where Robocop in the first one was, oh, help me up, girl. And then in part 3, boom, just died randomly.
Yeah, but
You know
check
what I
this
mean?
out. Yeah, but that part 3, inconsistent writing. But check this out though. This is the thing. Terminator in the first one died because of a homemade pipe bomb. Am I right or am I wrong?
Wrong.
No, he didn't die, but he took that homemade pipe bomb took half his body off. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Robocop, one of his weapons that he uses is that freaking rifle with the explosive round. Though that is literally like made off of a.
If we're gonna go with signature guns,
bro,
Terminator has a plasma pulse gun.
Nah. He never used that in 1 through 3.
He had it. It was in the start of the films, and it was in 2 and 3.
No,
and if we're going to talk about it, Robocop is in 2028. Yeah,
bro. Did he bring it when Terminator came back into the past? Did he bring that plasma?
All right.
rifle?
Well, you're going with his signature gun. Yeah. So
Arnold has so many signature guns. You can use the Gallagher.
Yeah, I know, but the one that a Terminator will use. But you're in 2028, Robocop, right? So because we're in that time, I have to assume that Robocop is in that time. Sorry, Terminator is in that time. And if he's in that time, he's got a plasma pulse.
Get out of here with that plasma.
So I'm just saying, if he's in the future,
now you starting to get scared, and you see where it is.
Now, if you put a pipe bomb inside, oh, by the way, he can run 22 miles an hour, so he's going to be sharp fast, and he's quite slow at taking out. But if you put a pipe bomb inside Robocop, yeah, he may fall down before you give it to him. But when you put it in, he's going to blow from the inside out. Now, Terminator.
Okay. If that's the case, then why when he got hit with that rocket launcher when he was driving a car, he didn't blow up the pieces? He got hit 3 times. He got hit twice with a rocket.
No, I agree. But he's in the car.
With a rocket.
But he's in the car, so he's got extra padding and armor.
Bro,
he's in a car, so he got shot by a rocket launcher, or what was it? What was it? A bazooka? Or
you got to hold this L, homie. Look, check this out.
I'm checking it out.
Check this out. One, he has a rifle in the first movie that has explosive rounds. That is an anti-tank rifle, and it's been modified in that damn movie to freaking explode. That's stronger than a fucking homemade pipe bomb. And then even if we don't use that, we can go off of Robocop having a modified
in the middle. It was wedged. All right.
On top of that,
give you a moment.
Has a modified handgun, the handgun with a missile on it. And then if we go even further in Robocop 3, he has the freaking jetpack with a missile on it. So it's like,
but the jetpack isn't Kevlar armor, and he could easily take that out.
Hey, it don't matter. All he needs is to hit him with that rocket, because obviously a pipe bomb can blow him up.
According to the films, only Robocop needs Terminator needs a couple of handguns, and he's gone. So
no, not really. Look, okay, if he only needs handguns, then why has Robocop been? Look, you can sit here and say this all day. Oh, he got shot up by the whole police force. He got shot up by the whole police force, and it made him a malfunction. Bro, in all of the movies, even when he went into the warehouse scene, he was getting shot up by everybody. It's just a lot. It's just, you can tell things that are being done for the story purposes only. He's showed in multiple scenes in the movie getting blown up by rockets, being burnt by freaking gas station blew up.
In a car. He was in a car.
Gas station blew up.
The car turned over. He was in the car.
Blew up a gas station.
Extra armor. He had extra armor
blew up a gas station with him in it.
No.
The guy blew up the gas station with Robocop in it, bro.
No, I checked that out.
Bigger than any pipe bomb.
He was outside. Everyone check this out. He missed the flames missed him.
Bro,
they missed him.
He was standing right there. He was like, no, we killed you. And it's like,
I watched it. Watch it again. He's outside the flame. He's outside the flame. He
was in the midst of it.
He was outside the flame. Where Terminator was blown up by a 44-ton truck where it was full of gas, exploded, and then he got up. Yeah, his skin is gone, but he's still who he was. He was hit by a 44-ton truck, and he got up and says, "Get out." Yeah, I'm just saying, Robocop in the first one, there was some shrapnel and a few bars came down, hit him, he was gone.
Bro.
Yeah, and then a spear through him.
No, but how was he gone? He took the stuff off of him and then went.
Yeah, but he pulled
up to see all that, whatever it was.
Terminator kicked it off. Yeah, he got up and then started chasing him again. And with that pipe bomb, I agree, it took him out. But if you did the same to what's his name, Robocop, he would take him out too. No, so we're pretty even on that.
Look, check this out, bro. Ed 209, not Ed 209. I'm mistaken. What's that stupid? Kane's robot in the second one, the RoboCop 2, has missiles attached to him, and on top of that has those 2 explosive rifles mounted on his shoulders. That was from the first film. RoboCop took that shit, bro. Boom, hit the wall.
He took it, but it wasn't inside his stomach.
Bro,
it wasn't inside him.
He took it, bro.
Took it. And the missiles were kind of small anyway. They were small little ones.
My man got shot up by Ed 209.
If
he
they
got
were
shot up by Kane and the other.
It would have blown the whole place up, and it didn't. It just knocked him down to the side, and it wasn't stuck inside him. Yeah, bear in mind, he gets pulled apart.
That rifle are big enough to take RoboCop down. Like, come on, bro. Look, this is the thing. You're saying RoboCop is faster, right? I don't think RoboCop is going to sit there. Faster. Yeah, Terminator, my bad. You said Terminator's faster. Terminator has sat back and let people shoot him. You really think he's going to just like, oh, this man
when did he
seems like a threat. Let me use my running power. Let me use my running power. No, he ain't gonna do that.
Remind me, when did he let people shoot
that shot and he's gonna blow him to pieces with that?
When did he let? I don't remember when someone shot him and he let it happen. When was that?
Bro, when he walked in Terminator 3, when he walked out, he allowed all those police officers to shoot him up.
Oh yeah, right. I remember he had the coffin.
Yeah, and then even in the second one, when he walked out in the hallway, he was getting shot up.
So did he fall down and get help by a woman to get into a car? No offense to the women, yeah. Where he was shot to hell, he just walked out and took it.
He just
walked out and he was carrying
all
that.
RoboCop. Look, this is the thing.
Yeah, so you just messed up your own argument.
You can sit here and say, "Oh, multiple people shooting took RoboCop down." Type, but this is a fight between RoboCop and Terminator. This is 1-on-1. Yeah. So Terminator is going to be shooting him from one angle the whole time, right? They were shooting him from all different angles all around. All the cops were shooting him. Terminator's going to shoot him from one angle. On top of that, RoboCop he has the handgun. Shoot him with a missile. Boom, done.
Right. He has the handgun. They were shooting him from all around.
Boom.
In Terminator 2, they were shooting him from all round. And the coffin at the end, they were shooting him from all round. So
they were shooting him from one angle. There
were 2 angles. There was loads of angles. It was all around him.
On the walkway, and they were shooting at him as he walked by.
Alloy. He's made out of a thing called he's fireproof. Where what's his name?
Melt that skin off, bro. He will melt the skin off. What happened?
What?
I said he will melt the skin off. Yo, can you hear me?
Well, yeah, no. You get Terminator skin, it's just there to make
because if last time I checked the Terminator 3, he got that face melted off by that girl, and RoboCop got a flamethrower on his hand too. So that's all I'm saying, bro. Like
I don't remember.
The chick. Remember
face melted.
RoboCop. Well, the chick was melting off. She didn't melt his face, the skull, but she was melting off his skin, and he had to hit her off.
You talking about Terminator?
Terminator 3, yeah.
What? To remind me, what happened?
The chick, the female robot Terminator had him pinned down. And she put the flamethrower in his face and was burning him. And he had to hit her off.
Oh, that was his skin, face.
Yeah.
That was his skin.
But I mean, he had to slap her off, bro, or else eventually.
If I burnt you with a flamethrower, your skin would come off. The skin is just a pretense to hide from people. But it comes off. It's easy to come off, like anyone else's.
Who knows?
You shoot Robocop in the mouth, and he's done for.
He slapped her off because he felt like if she would have continued to burn his damn face off, it eventually would have affected his system. So he felt the need to get her off, right? So look, bro, this is all I'm saying. Look, on top of that, bro, this man Terminator got his neck kicked off by that girl. But we're not even going to talk about that. But the point is this.
Look, she was a Terminatrix.
I get that. That's tight.
About 3 upgrades from him. So, I mean, like, she's about 20 upgrades from Robocop.
This is what I'm saying.
If we take let's take away the weapons. Let's take away the weapons.
The weapons make the battle. The weapons make the battle.
I know, but we spoke about that now. Let's talk about
like a fist fight. Terminator. So RoboCop can't use his spike, right?
Yeah.
He can or he can't?
He can, yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Terminator's stronger. He's heavier. He's faster by a lot.
Okay, but I didn't say RoboCop was going to win this battle off of sheer physical abilities. I'm basing my battle of RoboCop's weaponry.
All right, but
look, all I got to do is hold on. Look,
all he has to do is get 2 Uzis.
Hear me
Too
out,
Uzi.
bro.
All
Hear me
right.
out, bro. Check this out. What's stronger, a missile or a pipe bomb?
Missile.
Okay, so if a pipe bomb could blow half of this Terminator up, then what the hell is a missile going to do? So
Right,
RoboCop
but
has
if
two missiles. He has one in here, and he has the
Yeah,
ones that are in
but
the jetpack.
all right, no, but what? Tell me what's stronger, an Uzi or a missile
The missile.
or a handgun?
Missile.
Yeah, right. But Robocop got taken down by a load of handguns and
Okay.
Shotguns.
Okay, but
In
a lot of that
in
stuff,
1 and 3.
that stuff was plot though. That's what
So
I'm
all,
saying. Like,
yeah, but all right, same as the pipe bomb. That's
no,
plot.
it wasn't, dude.
It was.
Okay, if it was plot, then why was that not the thing that killed him? What killed him?
Robocop, Terminator.
Oh, Terminator. That wasn't the pipe bomb didn't kill him. He got
The reason
compressed.
why, because all right,
He
let's
got
face it,
crushed
he
to
had only
death.
one arm left. But we're going with what we know from the films.
I'm just
And the
saying.
plot
Look,
is
all I'm saying is that
Terminator- the plot is that Robocop needed to fall over and get a new heart. So that was plot for him.
Yeah, that
There was no
stupid.
reason. So
That
they had to give him a
RoboCop 3 is
reason to get
dumb.
a heart. So that's why he was shot down by a couple of
Because
English.
RoboCop 3 is stupid. We can agree to that. RoboCop 3 is fucking dumb. We'll agree to that.
I know, but we're using it.
I'm using what can damage a Terminator. In the series, the pipe bomb damaged the Terminator.
If
The
you hit
missile
him,
is stronger than a pipe bomb. If he's
I
hit
agree.
a missile,
But the pipe bomb was put in a certain place and they caught him. It's like double glazing window. If you, I don't know what you call it over there, but if you hit it in a certain point, a pressure point, you're going to get it. And they got him, but they didn't kill him because he's still coming after you.
Yeah.
Where in Robocop 2, he was chopped up and he was on the street going.
Yeah,
Also,
Robocop
Robocop breaks down a lot.
and they couldn't even, and they were messing up their saws because the little kid had to instruct them. Oh, hit him in the joints. That was stupid.
They
though.
hit him in the head with a little hammer, the kid, and next minute, like. Also, on a different note, they should have really given 4K visor. Have you noticed? Not that it makes a difference, but it looked like VHS visor.
Yeah.
You know, when he's looking through. Not that I just thought I'd say that, nothing to do with anything. But as I said, they chopped him up and he was on the street. What's his name? Sorry, Robocop breaks down a lot mentally, you know, like he breaks down a lot, like, and he has a lot, he's going all through these emotions. Also, according to part 3, he now feels pain. Is it 3 or 2? He feels pain now, which
didn't he scream in part 1 when he got stabbed with the spear? I think.
Maybe, yeah, he looked like
because then he stabbed him and he was like, "Oh," or some shit like that. But then Terminator has pain receptors too. He even said it.
I'm sure he didn't
I
have
have pain receptors that let me know that I was hit.
Did he have a heart on the first 2? Because I'm sure he didn't.
Who? RoboCop?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what. Like, they're not very clear.
Because all of a sudden they needed to give him a heart on the 3rd one, which
I don't remember, bro. The thing is, they said that he's like, he has organic tissue inside of him, but they never really say what it is because he has to eat that baby food in order to keep the organic tissue alive. I don't know what it is exactly that's left in him, though. You know,
on the new film, on the recent RoboCop, I don't know if it's, but he had lungs, and I think he had a heart, but he had lungs. That was
talking
it.
About the remake?
Huh?
You talking about the remake?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going in law. So let's give them the fact that I don't know. We don't know enough about it. All I do know is they had to give him a heart transplant. I'm like, what the hell? That wasn't. I never heard that in the other films. You know, we know he has bits and
that
pieces.
was stupid.
He's got no arms.
It's
so,
honestly them just trying to cash in on a name, and they just had a really
bad.
Yeah,
script. But as I say, like, right. So he gets a shitload of shotguns, and he gets a load of Uzis, to say Terminator, a couple of machine guns, or wherever the hell, right? He has to shoot at Robocop a few times, and remember, he's quicker than Robocop. Shoot him a few times, he's down, he's gone. He's got mental health issues, Robocop, where he gets upset all the time. And you remember Terminator, as you said, he can go Wolfie. All he has to do is pretend he's his wife, and he goes.
And that's actually a pretty good strategy, though. No, but in part 2, he didn't give a fuck about his wife, though. He let her go because he didn't want her to suffer.
I know, but he was doing it because he cared.
Yeah, exactly. But he let her go. Yeah. Like, I think.
Know, but yes, because he knew the situation and he cared, so he let her go.
Yeah, that's because the scientist was like, "Look, man, stop giving her hope." So he felt like that. Look, Here we go. Final thoughts or final arguments for why you think the person's gonna win. I'm gonna go ahead and go on first because I've let you go first most of this damn time. Me personally, bro, I feel like as far as superior machines, of course, Terminator is gonna be one because he's from the future. But at the same time, I think RoboCop has the necessary.
Robocop from the future as well.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about distant future. Like Terminator is a little bit more distant. But what I'm trying to say is that I think that RoboCop has the necessary tools in order
1997.
What? Terminator or RoboCop?
Terminator. That's when the Terminators were created. RoboCop is 2028.
Oh, so RoboCop's further, supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly. All right.
So you can imagine what the Terminators will look by then.
Well, all right. We'll just say that they have the more. I have Terminator's technology is a lot more futuristic. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So, me personally, my final thoughts is this: I think that RoboCop has the necessary tools in order to defeat Terminator because Terminator in the first film was defeated by, well, not defeated, but he took significant damage with a pipe bomb that was made in the kitchen by probably some household products. Now,
was it mothball? Ketchup. Remember?
Hey, look, I'm gonna be quiet and let you give your final thoughts. Quiet, homie. So see, you made me forget my damn thoughts. Anyway, they created a pipe bomb probably in their house in order to defeat Terminator. That pipe bomb did significant damage, took half of his body off. Now, RoboCop, on the other hand, my man has 2 missiles. He has one that's on the machine gun hand. He has one that's attached to the jetpack. I know a lot of the things go, oh, well, RoboCop's slow. My boy, he got a jetpack though. So now he's a little bit quicker on his feet. So he can use the jetpack, get around a little bit quicker. He has 2 missiles, 1 missile that's attached to the jetpack, 1 missile that's attached to the handgun, which is the gun, the little accessory that he has. And not only can he shoot that stupid gun, but he can use his regular gun in the other hand while he's shooting and use the other gun. You know, he could do both at the same time because he's tight like that. But I think that he has all the necessary tools in order to defeat a T-800 in this series. Now, if we was talking about maybe like the T-1000 or something like that, RoboCop getting his ass beat. I ain't even going to argue that shit. But as regards as the older models of T-800, I think RoboCop going to lay his ass out. He has the rifle. I forgot what it's called, but it's like based off of a Beretta, which is a freaking 50 cal explosive round, anti-aircraft, anti-tank rifle that explodes on contact. So I think that will be more than enough. A couple of rounds from that, he got a whole clip, bro. So just waste him with a whole clip. Eventually, Terminator is going to take enough damage to go down. And if that's not enough, finish him off with a couple missiles. It's a done data. It's a deal. It's a wrap. It's over. RoboCop might not have the physical ability to keep up with that man, but he has the weaponry in order to lay his ass down. And if you smell what the Davy is cooking, you will see that what I said is 100% accurate and truthful to the matter. Go ahead, British Bulldog.
Right. So, first of all, you're gonna. All right, I know you're not gonna be happy, but you know, like if we're gonna talk about 2028, you have to assume that Terminator is in the same era, which means he will have the plasma pulse run.
But I'm gonna take that. It's funny that you have to keep running back to this plasma.
I know.
Like you know, like it's funny because it's actually ironic because that shows that you can't defend your argument.
As I said, I will take that out. Yeah. So what I'm going to say is right. So the pipe bomb got into his. He was wedged into his side, wasn't it? And he blew up. Now I know this is, but he still had one arm. He still went after him, where RoboCop was chopped in half with a saw or whatever, right? But do you know when he was crushed by that? What do you call that thing? Press? Is it?
Yeah.
You call it a press in the first one. His arm and his brain literally caused Judgment Day. By catching that, it caused Judgment Day. Yeah, that's the end of the world. Right, forget that. As I said, he was hit by a 44-ton Arctic truck with gas or petrol, we call it, or diesel. You call it gas. He was hit by one of them, full, and then that was blown up, and he survived it. As I said, RoboCop, in part 3, what fucks him also saves him. Do you know we were saying about him being shot and he falling over? Yeah. And then on the other hand, he gets the jetpack. I mean, or was it a jetpack or?
Yeah, it's like a flying. Yeah, it's like a jetpack.
So in one half he fucks him, and the second half he has that. Now, I'm gonna say that RoboCop does have a chance against Terminator, but only a chance, slim to none. But he has a chance. As I said, enough bullets will take him down. He has that mental health issues. Once he pretends to be the wife, his brain can be rattled. And if you take away the guns and you pretend Terminator is as slow as Robocop, fist to fist, he still beats.
I'll give you fist to fist. I'll give you fist to fist all day. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying, if they did that. But all right, Robocop has a few weapons when it suits the plot, as we say, and Terminator can survive other things when it suits the plot as well. But he was shot the hell out of more than once, carrying that. Robocop, every time he was shot to hell, down he went. So all I'm going to say is, boom, drop the mic.
I mean, both characters were always shot to hell. They have both displayed.
Yeah, but Terminator seems to walk away from it. In fact, he'll walk as it's being done.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. That's one thing. Like I said, you have to like look at the consistency. There's been multiple times in the movie where RoboCop got shot to hell and he literally walked away from it. Like Ed 209 was dumping on his ass, like dumping on him, and he just walked away from it. Even with
Terminator 4.
Even with
he was shot a few times and survived it, but on two significant times that he went down, it destroyed him. Terminator never went down over it. He put a pipe bomb in the right place.
That's the thing. Plot. Like, check this out. Ed 209, not Ed 209, both Ed 209 and Kane both have machine guns similar to the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger was using in both T2 and in T3. That's probably one of the most.
You're going to keep using that, but I'm just saying.
Like, let me just. Can I finish my thought? I'm about to mute you, homie. But
it's too late. Romeo done.
No, check this out. If it's done, then let me get my thoughts out. You're saying that all he has to do is shoot him to hell. The guns that he possesses, the little Gatling gun that he used in the second one, the Gatling gun that he used in the third one, those are the ones
in the second.
Yeah, but minigun. You're talking about the gun that he's holding in the window when he's shooting the cops, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
rocket launcher.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Gatling gun. That's that. But the point that I'm trying to make is this: that gun, the Gatling gun, minigun, whatever you want to call it. There's one on Ed. There's one on Ed 209. There's also two on freaking the RoboCop 2 Kane. He showed that he can take that shit.
But he was falling down the stairs when it happened, and he was all damaged.
Okay, well then use Kane. Kane shot him with it in the other movie, and he was going head up with Kane. It's the same thing. It's the same gun, and then Kane, he had two of them.
All right,
Kane had two of them.
All
and
right,
Ed 209 had two of them.
And we're talking about plot, and I understand what you're saying. But as I said in the first one, he was shot down by the police. All right. And then the second one, he survived it. But the fact that it happened again in the third one, then it kind of unevens it out. So as I said,
because you have to look at it. Okay. Let me
if Terminator shot him with that minigun, like he did on the second one, if he shot him with that mini or whatever gun you call it, the one that twirls, then Robocop's finished.
Check this out. He's not. He's not. I'm about to tell you. Look,
he's done.
Which one is more of an impactful weapon? That minigun that you call it, the 50 cal Gallic gun, which is that minigun that you call it, or a bunch of shots from police a bunch of 9mm and shotgun shots? Which one is more significant? The minigun?
I don't know, because that minigun can cut you in half.
No, I know. It's because it's a 50 cal. The bullets are like this fucking big.
I would go with the minigun in a sense. Yeah, it would probably be a bit more powerful.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. So that's what I'm trying to show you, that there's inconsistencies in the movie just based off of plot.
I know.
You had a bunch of police officers.
So you say the minigun is stronger then?
Yeah, I'm saying it. Check this out though. You had a scene in the movie where the police officers shoot RoboCop with handguns, 9mm rounds, and you had them use shotgun rounds,
which isn't as strong as the gun. But
exactly. I'm getting there. You won't let me get there. Let me get there. So you have that, and then supposedly he gets hurt. That's plot, because later, Kane, RoboCop 2 has two freaking miniguns that are significantly stronger than shotguns and 9mm handguns, and he wastes RoboCop with that shit. Lays his ass out. And what does RoboCop do? He takes the shit, he gets up, he keeps fighting. So that's what all I'm saying is this. These things are done for plot. They're done for plot.
If that happened more than once throughout 3 films, then fine. But one time,
bro.
But then in the other 2 times, where
you have to have RoboCop get hurt Because if he's just this fucking tank that could take everything, then it's not going to be a good movie. That's why it's done strictly for plot. That's why I'm trying to get you to understand. Like some of these things, it sounds stupid, but it's done for
going
plot.
around in circles. I think final word.
Yeah, I mean, we had the final words, but
I know, but you just carried on. And
no, I didn't. I made my final argument.
Like, I'm talking about.
No, it's not even that. It's just that I made the final statement, and what you did was you chose your final statement to try to refute mine.
Forgive me.
All right, look, give your final statements to the subscribers and tell them why you think Terminator would win.
Because he's all round better. He's an all-round better fighter. He's born when they're created, they're automatic veterans. Yeah, they're 30-year veterans, so they know all about warfare. I think that his brain is a one-sided thing, killing. I think Robocop has too many issues. Look, the bottom line is I find him an all-round better fighter, without weapons and with weapons. So that's my reason why.
Okay. And my final thoughts, like I said earlier, I think that Robocop, although he does not possess the physical capabilities to keep up with Terminator on a physical level, he has the weaponry needed in order to lay his ass down. Terminator took significant damage from a pipe bomb. Robocop has the rifle that has explosive rounds. He has 2 rockets on his arms. And I mean, that's enough to lay Terminator down, in my opinion. So that's our final thoughts, man. This was a great segment.
I just want to say this again and repeat. Please don't judge because you like Terminator 2 better than Robocop, because Robocop is a great film. It's a great story. Please don't judge it by that.
Don't play favoritism. I want you guys to really base your argument based off of what.
Because you like one don't mean the other isn't better. Do you know? Like, I like Terminator more than the T-1000, but the T-1000 beat him without reason. But anyway, as I said, please don't do that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like,
even though I had a better argument.
No, you didn't. But okay. Like I said, base your arguments off of what the evidence that we provided, and let us know, man. Let us know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna try to make the Terrordome a little bit more repetitive as usual. Next time you guys see us here together, we're probably gonna have a panel with us, possibly Jody and somebody else. We're gonna try to make that happen as soon as possible, as soon as we get these dates arranged, and we are gonna bring that to you as soon as we can. This was great having you on here, Derek. Thank you for coming on.
No, I always like messing with you.
I know you do. You like pulling my chain, bro. I know you do, but it's all good though. And that's what makes for a good content, especially when we both advocate. Like we advocate.
Like, I was gonna say is just we got to know each other maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah, and
we have, like, people have said we have great chemistry. Yeah. They said, like, obviously I'm the better looking one, but they said, like, we have and I, like, they're right. We have a good time. We're always texting each other. I've got to know you, and I consider you a friend now. And although, like, I should check with people I get to know online before I should ask them who would win Terminator and Robocop. That's the kind of question you should ask anyone we get to know. But because I've known you now, I forgive you for it. But as I say, I really enjoy it, and I can't wait for the next one when I will win that one as well. And
I know we might be on the same team in the next one. Who knows? We don't know. It just depends on what the
I'll actually purposely go on the team against you.
I mean, I'm cool with that. That's look,
no.
That's a good thing about the Terrordome. I honestly think that
the problem is if we were on the same team, it'd have to be.
I would play devil's advocate just to make it interesting. I mean, I mean, I would probably think that the other person will win, but I would play devil's advocate in order to make it interesting. So that's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this is a long freaking video. I hope you guys stuck through it the whole way. I mean, we dropped some fucking fire on you guys. So make sure you guys subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to me, subscribe to Movie Mash, Del Boy's Movie Mash, right? Yeah. Del Boy's Movie Mash
changes every week.
I know, right? It's Del Boy's Movie Mash Reviews, right? Longest fucking title in the history of mankind, but it's all right. We're gonna make it. Make sure you guys go to his channel. I'm actually going to drop it in the description. So make sure you guys click it and go ahead and subscribe to his channel. You guys are going to see his face here a lot more often, especially when we are entering the Terrordome.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, y'all. Adios, man. Take care.
You're terminated, fucker. All right.